Welcome to the shed with me, Hetty Austin.
Myself, Sanjay Arif.
And me, Nathan Eagle.
We are three friends who met on the comedy circuit, and we have ever-changing interests and hobbies, and we sit in a shed and we discuss those interests and hobbies together.
What's your obsession, Nathan?
WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment.
Is that what it is?
It used to be WWF, wasn't it? World
What's the
Wrestling
difference?
Federation. WWF was World Wrestling Federation, but they had to change it because of the pandas. No, it was World Funds. It was the pat. It's something to do with the pat, but they couldn't. They had to change it because of legal reasons.
I don't know. Is
So
that
now
true?
That's genuinely true. I remember when it changed, and I was furious. Yeah.
I thought it was just different TV stations and stuff. I thought WWF ran at the same time as WWE.
No.
And there was WCW. And
WCW was its competitor, and they had a thing called the Monday Night Wars, which is really
Did
interesting.
they have cross wrest? Did they have
WWF? A lot of the guys.
WCW?
Yeah, a lot of the guys. So you know Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan
I know of him.
was in the WWE,
Racist man.
and then he is racist, but he moved to the WCW, and he went bad. He turned heel. Do you know what that means?
I do.
When they go bad, and because Hulk Hogan was so massive, and he was like America's hero,
Yeah.
when he turned heel, people lost their shit.
He used to come out to like,
I am a real American man. Racist. Yeah.
All right, I think we've got into this too quick already. So you're into wrestling.
Yep.
Watching, doing,
Yeah, what is wrestling?
to you.
What is wrestling
Is
to
it
me?
real wrestling?
Well, I kind of... I remember like Sky and stuff when you were younger in cable. I didn't have that for such a long time, right? I didn't. We just had the 4 channels because we couldn't afford Sky, I think, maybe.
Big thing when you got cable, wasn't it?
Yeah, and wrestling was on Channel 4 at like, I don't know, maybe on a Sunday, and I'd catch an hour of it and be like, this is amazing. And it was like anarchy, like weird characters.
I don't think young people today understand how big wrestling was.
It's massive.
It was like,
You don't get it,
I was
do
going
you?
to say I don't understand, but is that me being a young
it was
person?
a very male thing.
When I started watching it, it was the Attitude Era, which what it was called.
Yeah, who were the wrestlers in the Attitude?
Well, my favourite was always Mick Foley, who was Mankind, but he's the
Yes.
guy.
Jack. What was his other? Yeah.
Cactus Jack. You know a bit about wrestling.
I was into wrestling.
Oh.
I'm from the rock days.
Yes, and he was the Attitude Era
He
as
was
well.
Attitude,
That's
so I
when
was
he
watching
got
it at
big.
the same time.
But yeah. I feel like you're not going to get this episode.
I'm not going to say a single thing in this.
What the rock is cooking.
But I never liked The Rock that much.
Shut your candy ass!
But I thought it was...
Shut your Rudy Poo! You shut your Rudy Poo mouth!
He's so quiet, isn't he?
I thought he was too cocky, right? He was a clean wrestler. Well, I was like
Yeah.
Mankind, because Mankind was dirty.
He was brilliant.
And he got like going through. He put his body at risk, Hetty. I'll send you a video earlier from the Hell in a Cell
please.
match with the Undertaker. You know what I'm talking about, right? You okay?
What year was it?
1997.
I'll never forget 1997. Hell in the Cell with the Undertaker.
King of the Ring.
when Mankind was put through the ceiling.
Doesn't matter what your name is. All right, let's bring it down. But that match, Hetty, it's possibly the best piece of sports entertainment I've ever seen in my
history.
life. He put his body at risk, and that's what I think everyone liked about Mankind. He gave
For
it.
entertainment.
Yeah.
It was like going back to proper gladiatorial entertainment. Let the lions eat him. It's so raw and guttural and violent.
You describing it is definitely homoerotic.
Oh, it's very homoerotic, without a doubt.
Homoerotic, all in tiny
Well,
pants.
and you would do that.
But you didn't. It was homoeroticism without having to admit it.
Yes, exactly what it is.
You could all sit around going, "We are manly men.
But that's.
We don't like cocks. We like cocks."
Do you know nothing about wrestling?
No,
So-
nothing. Only that I associate you with it and that my mum's nan used to watch it.
Really?
I used to watch a lot of wrestling with my nan.
Yeah.
I think that's because they're like, ooh, lovely. Topless men.
But old granddads used to watch like Big Daddy and people like that. Do you know about that?
Because Matt keeps calling me
Haystacks.
Giant haystacks.
Giant haystacks.
My dad says that about you as well.
Yeah.
So that's like
big hairy man.
That was like British wrestling back in the day, and then you had this WWE thing that come out of like nowhere, it seemed.
And that was quite like the British wrestling was quite like guttural and like
there wasn't
it was the equivalent.
But they weren't like these pristine wrestlers that you see now.
Yes,
they were like
real
they were
chubby,
like paint and decorators.
Fat guy.
Yeah.
People who like
fat guy.
Brawl down the pub.
Yeah.
But then the Americans showed up on the scene. It was like, what is that?
What is this?
Fireworks and flashing
Spectacle.
lights and walk-in music, and everyone was a character. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
So exciting.
So exciting.
Are they actually wrestling, or is it more for show?
Oh, it's choreographed, which again, why it is brilliant, because some of these fights are amazing to watch and they're so athletic, but it's all choreographed. But the physical ability of these wrestlers and what they put their bodies through it's insane. There's no athlete like it.
The movie The Wrestler, which I saw with Mickey Rourke, is so good. Like, because it's going on about this wrestler who's like had his heyday and now he's in his like. He's on the edge of retirement and he doesn't want to stop wrestling. And his doctors are like, if you don't stop, you're going to kill yourself. Yeah. And it's such a brilliant movie.
That film's like based off loads of wrestlers. Like Terry Funk was a similar wrestler.
Yeah, and the Jake the Snake.
There's a documentary about that. Have you seen that? That's
so
called
excited about this.
Hard Knocks and Cheap Pops, I
can't
think.
remember exactly what it's called.
Yeah, but I've seen the same one.
Good.
But it's like a bit like comedy in a way, because there's nothing sadder than an old wrestler, because they literally have to do this circuit where they've gone from playing these massive stadiums, and then they're doing like these like village halls. Right. Where they're doing, do you know what I mean?
To people who are still obsessed fans,
they're out of shape. It's sad. It's fucking sad, and their bodies are fucked. Yeah.
And then the Jake the Snake documentary where he's like, I remember in my heyday I'd be like in the hotel room with like 10 hookers and like a mountain of cocaine, and it was the best time of my life. And they're like, do you ever miss those days? He's like, oh yeah, but that sucks now. It's so sad. So there's a really sad side of it.
Yeah.
But it was a spectacle.
Like that Hell in a Cell match I was talking about, after that match, Vince McMahon, who is the chairman of the WWE, like the boss, the owner, he said to Mick Foley, thank you so much for doing that, but I never want to see that again. Because Mick Foley nearly died. He got taken out on a stretcher. Everyone thought the match was over. He got back out of the stretcher, run up the Hell in the Cell, and then got put through the Hell in the Cell. It was sensational.
Yeah, because first he's thrown off the top into the table.
Yes, the first one.
Smashes like the commentators.
Everyone comes out like this is over.
Yeah. And then they take him away on the stretcher, and then he comes back, continues the fight, and then he gets smashed through. Breaks the... Like they're fighting in a massive cage, and they're on top of the cage, and he smashes through the chain link down onto the wrestling floor.
You will have to watch it. I will send you it, because it is phenomenal.
So when were like the old 80s? They were in the 80s.
What were you going to say?
Like Macho Man Randy Savage and
Ric
Flair. Yeah.
I knew of them because I saw classic episodes.
Because there were toys of those when I was a kid.
I had toys.
I never really saw the wrestling, but I knew the toys, and they were always in cartoons. There would always be cameos
that was a different era.
Like Macho Man Randy Savage was in like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as like a cameo and stuff. They were in cameos of it. They were in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Hogan was everywhere. Hogan did films. Hulkamania runs wild.
Hulk Hogan was in Rocky.
Yes, he was in Rocky. Yeah, was it Rocky 2?
3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 because he was doing loads of like spectacle
He was really
stuff.
big in it.
Yeah.
Compared
and then
to
Clubber Lang was like Mr. T was like, oh, what are you doing all this? Why didn't you fight a real man? Come and fight me. I'll eat you. I'll break your head. I'll smash your head. You're just going to give Clubber Lang a chance. Clubber Lang's taking the title. You're going to give me the title.
That's a good wrestler voice.
And then who was Rocky's trainer?
Oh, I can't
Mickey
remember his
or
name.
something? He lives your life, Rock.
Yeah,
you can't find him. You've been fighting champs. You've been fighting champs, Rock. You haven't fought a real fighter in years. He'll eat you alive. I can do it.
That's good. Have you seen Rocky? You don't need to.
I love Rocky.
Rocky's fucking. Yeah, I love Rocky.
With my dad.
Give me a massive boner. That noise. But that's another thing.
My dad gives you a boner.
No, but that's another homoerotic thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rocky is very similar. Like men just get so excited.
Back in the repressed 90s.
It's because you're watching it through the male gaze. This is what men think is sexy.
The male gaze.
That is exactly what it is.
And it's probably not to women.
Not at all.
Hello, ladies.
You were the same era of wrestling as me.
Yeah,
and
the Attitude Era. Yeah.
It was such a big thing
Massive.
in my life. It was the main thing I watched on TV.
Yeah, and that's why I think I come back to it every now and then, where I feel like I need to watch wrestling. It's so weird. Like every now and then, I won't watch it for ages, and I'll just be like, I really could do with watching some wrestling right now. Yeah. Like an old, I think it's nostalgia, and it probably brings me back to being a kid.
Back and watch old
I watch old things.
Ah.
I watch
old. That's what it is.
I watch old Raw episodes, old like pay-per-views. Like there was one called Invasion where the WCW were coming in to try and take over the WWE, and it was like the
different
WCW,
federations. Yeah, they were shown on different channels and stuff.
It was World Championship Wrestling, and they were kind of it was like a feud between the WCW and WWE, and like loads of wrestlers were betraying like Stone Cold betrayed the WWE, and it was shocking. It was it was like a drama.
It was a drama. Yeah. What's it called? Like, what's Neighbours and Home and
Soap.
Away called?
Soap.
It was
soap
like
opera.
Yeah. It was a soap.
Soap
for
opera.
Boys.
Yeah. Soap. Yeah.
Soap opera for boys. Sexually repressed boys.
Milkomania is running wild. It's Milkman Madness, my God.
But when you were drunk in your drunken days, you'd always offer people to wrestle, didn't you?
Yeah, because I liked it. I liked stunnering people. I did go through this phase of doing the stunner on people.
What's the stunner?
Like mockingly. Right, you do that and you kick them in the belly, but I wouldn't actually do it. And you grab their head. It's a Stone Cold Stunner.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really like Stone Cold.
What?
Steve Austin.
Well, he was a bit of a bastard.
He was a very southern white power man.
Yeah.
That was my nickname at school.
Southern white power.
No, Stone Cold Austin.
Steve Austin.
There you go.
Stone
So you
Cold
have got
There you
him.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Why was she called Stone Cold?
Drink a beer
My
and
surname was Austin.
Oh,
smash it on your face. Because she was bald.
Sorry. Yeah.
Kept chugging cans of beer.
Have you ever done it in public?
I did do it once at a comedy gig when I was very, very drunk.
Oh, it was amazing.
I called out someone in the audience, didn't they? And they agreed to wrestle me.
Yeah.
And I power slammed him.
It was
vicious.
incredibly shocking.
I even pinned him and I 1-2-3'd him. And in that moment, I was really happy.
Like proper
wrestling.
1997.
Yeah.
The second best thing I've seen since Mick Foley being thrown off the...
Is that why you don't drink as much now?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I think I might have ruined the night.
It's kind of like the opposite of your ASMR
Yeah,
hobby.
it's more...
It's the opposite, isn't it? Because that
Yeah.
calms you down, whereas
Bring
this
out the
riles
rage.
you up.
Yeah, I
You're
don't
an
know.
odd man, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm a walking contradiction. Kind of thing. It's like fast food, though, in a way. Like, you know that kind of thing you get from eating a burger? I feel this. It's like do you know what I mean?
It's
a quick fix.
It's a quick fix, but it's not going to satisfy you for long.
No. I'm still here in 2023, whereas I want to be in the 90s watching wrestling in my living room.
But that's what all of us, to an extent, want to regress to childhood and surround ourselves with. That's why nostalgia is a thing. We want to go back to when we didn't have responsibilities.
Yeah, when I started roller skating last year, which we'll come on to on an episode at some point.
So many.
So much. I got that white heat of joy that I hadn't experienced since being a child.
Oh, that's lovely.
And it was like a real moment of, I can't remember feeling like this. It's been so
nice.
long.
That is lovely. I think I found it with stuff.
And
But I can't remember. I've got to write
You're
it down.
still
I don't
looking.
remember.
Well, I feel like I do get when I watch like, but
You've got to actually wrestle, Nath.
yeah,
You've
I need
sign
to
up
be
to one of
wrestler.
those
wrestle.
local churches.
Do you think I should?
Yeah, I think you should. It'd be a good.
It'd be
That'd be your
amazing.
exercise. You know, you say you want to get,
become
you
a
want to get
wrestler.
They're
fit.
not like big buff guys.
No,
No.
Just normal
I think
guys.
I could do it.
If I started
Oh my
doing
god,
it,
I
I'd
could be your
Big Daddy.
trainer.
Yeah, you could be my trainer.
We could do a Rocky montage.
Yeah.
Training for wrestling. What was your character?
I don't know. I was just trying to think. We've got my Nathan
You'd
Eagle,
have to be the eagle something,
the
innit?
the Eagle Nator.
You haven't thought about this.
That bit too quickly.
How good would it be? How good would it be if you were like an all-American
Wrestler.
and like you embodied the eagle and you were
Yeah,
like an
yeah.
all-American
Like the bald
wrestler, but
eagle,
you're
yeah.
actually like a skinny
English
British guy, but you put on an
More like a
American
pigeon.
accent, and you just do all the '90s moves of like Hulk Hogan and,
leg drop.
Stone
Yeah.
Cold. And The Rock, you bring them all out. You could have Mick Foley's sock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or was it Mankind?
Yeah,
I
it
really
was
think you could
Mankind.
do that.
Yeah, I might do that then.
You
I'll
might.
sign up to a local wrestling team.
That would be amazing.
It would be great, but
So good.
That is no less
like, but it's a
mental.
lot of training to become a wrestler. I don't think
Yeah,
you can
get-
just
if you
be
just
a
do-
wrestler.
You get really hurt. Yeah. You've got to.
It's
train
like,
with them.
yeah, you get.
The
It's
person you're wrestling
painful.
needs to. You got to trust them, and they got to trust you.
Yeah.
And to an extent, you practice with each other. And then when they're like, because I remember seeing interviews with people when they were like, "Oh, I'd never wrestled with this guy before, but we're both professionals or whatever."
Sorry for hating this one.
Sorry.
I haven't
That's
got
all
much
right.
to add.
I'm enjoying it.
You
Sounds
sure?
good, yeah,
I've
fine.
tried. You've spoken enough in this
I've
one.
spoken
haven't
enough
you?
now.
She said a couple of things.
I've
That's
said
all
some
right.
stuff.
Yeah, you just sit there and look pretty.
I know I'm only here for the face.
Something for the dads. Do you have any wrestling memorabilia?
I don't. Unfortunately, I do not. I used to have loads of action figures. I had The Rock, I had Stone Cold Steve Austin, I had an Undertaker, I had the Hardy Boys, Jeff Hardy.
Because I see the
I had a wrestling ring.
You had a ring.
I had it all. I had even had a cage that you could put over the top of it, but I lost all of it. No, I didn't lose it all. It might be in my mum's attic.
That's amazing.
But my toys always used to break as well because I broke them.
Yeah, 'cause
Being
you're fighting
too,
with them.
I was too
You're fighting with them.
heavy-handed as well.
Because I see wrestling toys in the toy shop now,
Yes.
and they look amazing. Like I don't know who any of the wrestlers are, but they look amazing.
Yeah.
I remember ours would be just like their face would just be a blob.
It never looks like them.
No.
Never looked like them.
And now they're like, because you can 3D print,
Mm.
you can like scan their features and 3D print them. They all look fantastic,
Yeah.
and the wrestling rings look brilliant, and you can have stuff to like flip the wrestlers flying off into the ring and stuff.
Well, even the PlayStation games, they had a PlayStation game called SmackDown, and I played that
I remember.
religiously. Like all the SmackDown games, I used to play that literally all night playing it.
Yeah, because
So that kind of was an extension of that WWE Attitude, that game.
Attitude game.
Yeah.
And you could create your own wrestlers in it
Yes,
as well.
that was great.
the
So you
character
could give
creation
it-
was so good.
You could give it your name, couldn't you? And stuff like that.
Yes. Oh, I always used to make, because it had several iterations. They'd bring out one every year, like FIFA, like for wrestling. And my character always had a mohawk. Always had a purple mohawk. Oh, what did I call him?
Didn't you have a mohawk at one point?
Yeah, I did, because I wanted to look like my wrestler. Oh, what did my brother will remember. We always both made our own characters. It's probably something really weak, like Mr. Awesome or something. Mr. Awesome.
My wrestlers that I would create on the games would always be I would create a lot of big fat guys.
It's funny.
Because
Yeah.
that's what you want to be.
I want to be a big.
You wanna be a big fat
I'm
guy.
nearly there, getting closer there every day. But yeah, big fat guys with masks. I'd always wear masks, as my wrestlers would as well.
His identity.
Masks and stuff like that. My wrestlers always wear with long hair, like Kane, a bit like Kane.
Kane, he was Undertaker's brother, wasn't he?
He was Undertaker's brother. The Brothers of Destruction. I'm such a geek. I feel like a geek.
I love it.
Yeah. I do know a lot about wrestling. Even now talking about it, I'm like, shit, I know quite a lot about the
trying to
old
remember.
days of
So-
wrestling.
Everyone's signature moves. So The Rock had the people's elbow.
He had the people's elbow and he had the rock bottom. And he had the rock.
He had the eyebrow. I
Eyebrow.
know that.
Yeah,
One of
but
the-
that wasn't a move.
That wasn't a move, but
The
it was
finishing move was the people's elbow.
Yeah, but it was the people's eyebrow. It's called that. He would do that when he would do the people's elbow.
Yeah. And he'd throw
Can
his
you do
arm
it?
back.
Can you do it? That's the only reason I learned how to do my eyebrows was because of The Rock. Because I can do both of them.
Oh, I can't do that one. Just like I'm having a stroke.
Try it again. Really try it, see if you can do it. Sanjay, are you doing it?
I don't know. No? Hang on, wait.
It's giving me a headache.
I was like, wait. I just went...
But I stared in the mirror for ages trying to do The Rock's
because it looks like he's got a hook in it and it just literally...
Is that it?
Yeah, kind of. The Rock's one was like proper, like insane. Yeah, anyway. Stone Cold was the stunner.
Stone Cold Stunner.
And that was the only special he had. He had sharpshooter, I think,
Undertaker.
for a submission.
Tombstone, was it?
Tombstone, last ride, and a choke slam, but that was like more of a signature move.
What was Mankind's where he gets socky?
Mandible Claw.
Nice.
That was
Who
Mr.
else?
Socko.
Triple H was in it, wasn't
He had a pedigree. This is like you were testing
I'm
me.
trying to remember.
Triple H had a pedigree.
Boys?
Hardy Boys was the Swan Tom Bomb and a Twist of Fate.
Amazing.
Give me another.
Was Rikishi fighting?
Rikishi, yes, he did the
Big
stink
fat-
face. Stink face. You would have liked Rikishi. Rikishi was fun.
Face. It was so good.
Rikishi would get someone in the corner of the turnbuckle, which is like the corner of the ring, and ram them. They would fall down, and then he'd slap his ass with his hands, and he would run, and he would just rub his ass on their face.
And the commentators,
And they would be like,
the commentators would just be like, "Oh no, it's the stink face! Oh my god, they're not going to recover from that!
Look at that stinky face!
They got a stink eye! He's going to get pink eye from that! Oh my god, Rikishi doesn't wash his butthole!"
That's when it would get really silly. Of course, that would
it was
not knock
always
you
silly.
out.
No,
You have a
no,
bum
no.
in your face.
But then they'd be on there like,
yeah, but they would be like dead. And then he would pin him after
they
that.
die
and win.
from it. Oh, it's so funny. I'm trying to remember other wrestlers.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I had a Big Show t-shirt for so long. I wore it for about... I got a Big Show t-shirt in the Attitude Era. Yeah, and I was too embarrassed to wear it because I outgrew wrestling. I was like, oh, I'm not going to wear this. And then he stopped wrestling. He retired because his heart was going to explode. Yeah. And I started wearing the t-shirt from like when I went to uni. I started wearing it. I was like, I'm wearing this ironically.
Yeah.
And I wore this t-shirt for like 15 years. And then he started wrestling again. I was like, I've got to stop wearing it. I look like a fanboy.
Still wrestling now.
Exactly.
Still
yeah.
in there.
So I've had to retire the t-shirt because he came out of retirement.
But you shouldn't hide.
I think I might start wearing. I think I might start
bit.
wearing wrestling t-shirts.
Yeah, what's wrong if you wore
I think if you wore 90s, if you wore
That's
like
what I mean, 90s wrestlers.
if you wore a Hardy Boys t-shirt,
That'd be cool.
Yeah, do you know what? Because I saw a young girl last year. I mean, we're talking like she was 11 and she had a Spice Girls t-shirt on.
Amazing.
And I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to...
coming back.
And then I got very drunk that day and I bought one online. And I really haven't had the guts to wear it.
Because that girl, what's that old lady doing?
Yeah. Whereas,
in a kid's top.
do you know what I mean? It's a bit... But we shouldn't be
care.
like this. We were
Should be
there.
brave.
We should
I'm
be
not, I mean, I'm
brave.
wearing a Star Wars t-shirt
You
now.
don't normally
I'm not
care,
too fussed, but some things, it's more because I think a couple of times I wore the t-shirt and someone would start talking to me about wrestling, but like way over the top. Not like, this is fun. They'd just be like, oh, what do you
think about
the Big Show's new move? The
but
stinky face.
I feel that Nathan could go that way.
Oh, you could tip. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I
You could tip.
Yeah, easily. If you found
I
someone
think
else...
if I wasn't married and I didn't have a wife and I didn't have any friends and I didn't have a shed to come to every month for a
You'd be
week,
wrestling in a town
I
hall.
would. Yeah, I would be a wrestler.
Really makes you think.
Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe and all the things.
Yeah, what are the other things? Rate?
Rate.
5 stars.
Comment. Tell us. Share.
Just watch it.
Just watch it. Have it on repeat and just have it as mute.
Yeah.
So we just... Yeah. It's raining in the shed. It's really cozy.
It is.
It's nice.
It's nice, yeah.
See you later.